Okay, welcome to our fourth online lecture. This time we'll talk about metabolism, energy, and enzymes. So energy. Before we start, let me ask you a question. What is the ultimate energy source in our world? What is the ultimate energy source in our world? I'll tell you the answer in the next video. Hopefully I will remember. Okay, energy is the ability to do work or bring about change. That's a very general, generic definition. It's nothing physics. And then cells and organisms, we need a constant supply of energy. That's why we eat all the time. We eat 3 times a day, 4 times a day, because we need energy all the time. We use the energy for what? Why do we eat so much? We use it for growth, metabolism, and reproduction. And life on Earth is dependent on solar energy. So that is the answer. Actually, I'll give you the answer. The solar energy, or the sun, is the ultimate energy source on the Earth. So I don't need to tell you the answer in the next video. Photosynthesis is the chemical reaction that make a lot of nutrient, namely glucose or carbohydrate, not only for the plant but also for animals. If you have taken physics, you should have learned that there are a lot of different types of energy. In biology, we'll focus on only 2 types of energy: kinetic energy and potential energy. Kinetic energy is the energy of motion. When you are moving, then you have kinetic energy. An example is that a ball rolls down a hill, then this is called kinetic energy. Potential energy is a stored energy. I like this definition, simple and clear, stored energy. Food has stored energy, but from what I learned before, the energy stored in the food, we can consider it as a potential energy, but some textbooks, they call it chemical energy. We call it chemical energy stored in the food. Types of energy. Okay, chemical energy. Is that the chemical energy is stored in the chemical bonds. I mentioned this at the beginning when we talk about bonds. Ionic bonds, covalent bonds. Mechanical energy is the energy of motion, as in walking. So mechanical energy is very similar to kinetic energy. Chemical energy, let me repeat it. When you break a bond or when you form a bond, then it involves chemical energy. We'll talk about that today. So this is the flow of energy. Everything comes from the sun, and then the plant absorbs the solar energy to use it on photosynthesis. And then photosynthesis produces food for animals to eat as a form of chemical energy, so that after the animal eat the food, they gain the energy to move. As you can see that in each step, there is a loss of energy in each step. The loss of energy are in the form of heat. So there's no 100% of the conversion of the energy. The world is not perfect. So the imperfection in the world is the loss of the heat energy. The loss of energy as heat. We have to talk about 2 laws of thermodynamics. The first law of thermodynamics is that energy cannot be created or destroyed. The only thing we can do with energy is to convert it. Example is the previous slide. The solar energy is converted into chemical energy through the photosynthesis. And then after the animal eat the chemical energy in the plant, an animal convert the chemical energy into mechanical energy of movement. So that's why it says it cannot be created or destroyed, but we can only convert it. First law of thermodynamics is also known as law of conservation of energy. The second law of thermodynamics is that energy cannot be changed from one form to the another without the loss of usable energy. So when we change the energy from one form to another, then we usually lost something, and that is in the form of heat. For example, we talk about photosynthesis in the leaf. It does not create solar energy to form carbohydrate, but it converts the solar energy into carbohydrate. And during the conversion, some heat is lost, but none of them is destroyed. And then the moose, from previous pictures, use the cellular respiration for movement. So it gains the chemical energy from eating the plants, the carbohydrate from the plants, and then use the chemical energy to make ATP from cellular respiration. So the process of making ATP from cellular respiration will also have heat, will also produce heat. So the heat released from the cellular respiration and photosynthesis, they are stored, they are released to the environment. Heat energy is not useful because we cannot use it to do any work. It will just increase the temperature of our Earth. And we cannot reuse the heat that is dissipated in the environment. We cannot reuse those heat energy. Because of the second law of thermodynamics, the conversion is not 100% efficient. So the world is not perfect. The second law of thermodynamics, you can state it in a different ways, is that our universe is becoming less and less organized. So we become more and more, become messier and messier. Entropy is a special term that you want to know because it refers to the amount of disorganization. So you can imagine this. All college students have this issue. If you live in a dorm, which is even more obvious, which one is easier, to keep your dorm room clean and tidy, or to keep your dorm room messy? Of course, I would say that most of the college students will say that, oh, it is easier to keep it messy, because when you keep it clean and tidy, it requires a lot of energy to keep it clean and tidy. You have to constantly put everything back in the original position. You have to throw out a lot of stuff. That's why the entropy, the more disorganized, the higher entropy you have, the less energy you will have. So in other words, the more stable the system will be. The higher the entropy, the higher the disorganization, the lower the energy, the more stable the system will be. That's why everything breaks down. Why? Because everything tries to become more and more stable. So everything will break down. So it said that every process will increase the total entropy. As a total increase in total entropy, that means it will become less and less organized, so that the system will become more and more stable. So cellular process require energy input because we use energy for transportation or making molecule. Biosynthesis is like making new molecule. It's like, or for example, making hormone, making neurotransmitter. So it said that ultimately living organism depends on the sun. Yes, sun is our ultimate source of energy. Without the sun, then the whole world would become dark, and we do not have enough food supply. So this is the cellular respiration, like a summary of cellular respiration. We start with a glucose molecule. This C6H12O6, you must remember this, you must memorize this. This is the molecular formula for glucose. C6H12O6 is the molecular formula for glucose. And then glucose, after going through cellular respiration, you will become carbon dioxide and water. Glucose is more organized. It has more potential energy. Why? Because it has a lot of covalent bond. It has a lot of covalent bonds. That's why it has a lot of potential energy. Because it has a lot of covalent bond, it stores a lot of energy in the molecule that makes it very unstable. It is more organized, but it is unstable. When after the cellular respiration, it becomes carbon dioxide and water. They become less organized, less potential energy, because the covalent bond in each molecule, you only have limited number of covalent bond in each molecule. It's not as many covalent bond as in the glucose molecule. Because it stores less energy in the bond, then it becomes more stable.